Alrighty, today we're going to be talking about Mecha BREAK, a brand new mech fighting game that just released, and its initial reception online has been mixed. In fact, I think mixed pretty much sums up exactly how I feel about the game as well, because on one hand, I think this is legitimately very fun. The game looks, sounds, and feels fantastic to play. I really wasn't expecting much going into it, but almost immediately found myself impressed with just how enjoyable combat is, like even just in the game's tutorial. I mean, I love the feel of the gameplay, like legitimately impressed already. Holy shit, dude, that is sick looking. I've got hit markers, but no actual numbers to tell. I mean, quite bombastic. Like, the presentation is rather impressive, I gotta say. I mean, it's dope looking, right? Like, I'm not much into mechs or anime, just personally. But in terms of, like, the presentation and the gameplay, like, they've definitely built something that looks and feels good to play. And I'm saying that literally after just doing the tutorial. But it looks and feels phenomenal so far. Like, we just went through the 20-minute tutorial. I think we're done. Like, that was really, really good. So it was all going great, but then after a mere 20 minutes of playing, I kid you not, it happened that quickly, I was presented with this monstrosity of a user experience and a reason for about half of the negative complaints and reviews that I've seen about the game. Okay, so that's recommended. What my recommended? See, this is already, here's already the bullshit. What is all this? What's happening here? Okay, dude, I just started. I was just saying nothing but good things, but what is this? Okay. Visit Ace Recruitment and Logistics to purchase the Striker Falcon costume and deploy this chick and unlock exclusive Striker Falcon. I mean, that's sick looking. How much money does it cost? Dude, I just finished the tutorial. What the Now, we'll talk about monetization in more detail shortly, but just to get this out of the way up front, the issue here isn't that they're monetizing the game. It's a free-to-play title. Of course, they're going to be selling stuff. No one reasonable expects developers to not have a means of making money. That's just ridiculous. Now, besides the fact that I would have vastly preferred this just to be a premium game, let's say they sold it for $40 to $60, and then maybe they also sold a battle pass or something as well and called it a day, that would have been amazing as far as I'm concerned. But that preference of mine aside, it is a free-to-play game. So yes, they're gonna sell stuff to make money, duh. And I want them to make money because after playing the past 2 days, I can really confidently say that the game itself is actually pretty darn good. Like, I would recommend playing it even just for a short while because it's that fun. I just also think they went a bit overboard with not just how they're monetizing, but the way they're presenting it to the user, to us, the players. I hadn't even played the game for 30 minutes, and they were already giving me pop-ups with $50 skins, premium seasonal battle pass purchases, and of course, email and Discord registration request. Now, it's one thing if you are already a well-liked and popular game with an established player base, and you're doing this kind of thing. It's another thing entirely if you're a brand new game and a fresh IP. It's just all a bit too in your face right out of the gate. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm gonna be really interested to see how this game flattens out because the gameplay is really good. And I'm not here trying to excuse monetization. I'm the first one to dislike it and complain about it, but the game would definitely be better without this. Like, still do a free-to-play game, have a battle pass, sell cosmetics, or just sell the game for $40 and have none of that. And I think that is the real problem that they're facing right now, is a user experience issue. In fact, I think they could still be monetizing all the same stuff had they just surfaced it in a better way, not being so aggressive with the pop-ups, that the game wouldn't be sitting at a mixed rating right now as it is on Steam currently. Like, I legitimately think that. But anyway, yeah, that intro experience really does sum up my general sentiments. I've now played the game over the past couple of days, and I have continued to be really impressed with the quality of the gameplay, only to then be let down by how they've chosen to monetize aspects of the game. So let's now go into my impressions of Mecha BREAK thus far, taking a look at both the good and the bad. And we'll start out with the good. Yeah, the gameplay. As I said, it is really good. It's a little more arcadey than the likes of Armored Core 6, but nevertheless, I think it has really good feeling movement, shooting, and melee. All of it looks and feels awesome. Like, I am sincerely impressed with how the gameplay feels. Yeah, like combat, movement, all of that feels amazing. Really, really, really impressed. How are the controls on mouse and keyboard? The gameplay feels fantastic. Any other critiques of this game aside, it feels phenomenal and very fun to play. Another pro is that they've got some variety in terms of game modes. So currently the game features 3 primary modes. First, there is a 3 vs 3 deathmatch. The first team to 8 kills wins. Then they've also got a 6 vs 6 hero shooter style objective mode, similar to something like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. This really seems to be the core mode that they are focusing on advertising and trying to get people to play. So the mechs themselves, they essentially function as hero classes. There can be one of each of them per team, and then you will work together as a team fighting over an objective like capturing the point or pushing the payload. Now, I've played a couple of these team-based modes myself, but really it's the next one that I've preferred, because lastly, the mode that I've spent the most time with is Extraction. This takes place on a massive island. You start off picking one of the 15 available mechs that you want to play, then you drop into a random location and you go around clearing points of interest full of enemy PvE AI. You're collecting loot in the process, getting things like mods, weapons, ammunition, and blueprints, and then you're trying to extract with said loot. All the while, there are other players on the map at the same time doing the same thing, and there's full PvP, with quite a bit of an incentive, because killing another player's mech lets you then take any loot that they have acquired in that match. So fights will and do happen often. And I would say I've spent about 90% of my playtime with the game in this mode. I just really like it that much. I enjoy the PvE combat on top of the fact that you've got these occasional PvP fights, and I found those really engaging and intense. I also like that they've got these dynamic events with like bosses that spawn in, and they've got these roaming storms you have to avoid. Just all around, this extraction mode has been a lot of fun. Like, I have had a blast. Man, the melee feels really good in this game. I really like it. Holy shit. I don't know that you can, honestly. I really wonder what the lobby size is. I feel like it's like 5 players or something. It's 30? What? Really? Are you sure it's 30? That seems insane. I've been playing matches and only ever seen like 1 or 2 kills in the kill feed, and only come across like 1 person a match, sometimes 2. Apparently they reduced it to 20. Even that seems crazy. Is PvE mode? So it's an extraction mode. So yes, there's PvE, but it's also PvP. It's both. Playing at least in these low tier ranks, because there's 3 tiers that you can queue into based on gear score. The normal one, it's been predominantly PvE, and then the occasional PvP fight is basically how it's played out. Okay, where's the extraction? There it is. We'll head on over. How much time? 159 left. Next time I see people fighting, I'm gonna intervene. Oh, there's somebody. Falcon right there. I'm out of energy. Gespiel! He got a sniper cannon. There's a loot box. There's another blueprint. Let me get rid of these. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Except for one encounter, I've kind of been dumping on fools so far. It's been a lot of fun. And then lastly for the pros, I think the classes, or strikers as they're called, are all really interesting. Visually, they look amazing with some cool as hell designs. They all also play quite differently. They have a mix of light, medium, and heavy mechs. And also right out the gate, there are 15 different mechs to choose from. Now, 12 of them are immediately available to everyone who plays the game, whether you've spent any money. It looks like we actually have access to all of these. What is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? 12 strikers, and then there's 3 that are locked. You can do this fairly easily in like an afternoon or 2 of playing. It's like 15,000 in-game credits. Doesn't really take that much to earn that. So, but honestly, even just the fact that they've got those 12 strikers free initially, like there's still plenty I want to try that I haven't yet, because they're all quite different and unique. And yeah, I really enjoy the variety here. It's actually really cool. Switch Break Striker. Strikers are the names of the mechs. I mean, look at this shit. This design looks amazing. Like really slick looking. I can play all of these people, right? Yeah, they're all available. Looks like these ones are locked. Holy shit, dude. I can see why it's locked. Like, holy fuck, look at that, dude. It really is like a hero shooter, but you're playing as mechs, and I really like that. So I started off mostly playing Velkin, who's this heavy brawler with a melee focus, and then recently I switched over to Narukami, which is like a light sniper, who has been really fun as well, and I'm just excited to check out all of the other ones. Like, really well done on the striker or class design in this game. I got a rocket launcher, as well as a big melee battle axe. Oh, dude, it just feels so good to play. I got a whirlwind attack. Dude, that's amazing. Okay, so now let's move on to the bad. First off, the new player experience is pretty lackluster. The game does have a basic gameplay tutorial where they teach you how to move, shoot, and use your abilities. But then after that, you were just plopped into the main menu screen that has like 20 plus tabs for you to figure your way through. And there is no guidance on what you should be doing, where you should be looking, how to even start up a game. Like, it doesn't even show you like, hey, go here to start a match of this mode. They're just like, here's the menu. There's 20 plus tabs. Just go through them and figure stuff out. Now, I'm not an idiot. I did figure it out, but I'm just saying it's a lot to parse for a brand new player with really no guidance to speak of on what you should be doing or where you should be looking or how to do anything. Okay, so what do? I don't really know. I'm just in this menu. How do I just start playing the game? Here's lobby, operation, Verge. Okay, so these are the options. Solo, tactical station. Is this showing me the different modes? What is happening? The only problem with not having played the beta is I feel like there's like a lot to parse through here. Like, dude, can I pick missions? Should I feel like usually you should queue up missions before you start. Do I just like select all of these? My God, dude, what the f is going on? 6v6 mode, first squad to complete the objective wins. Striker Bay, this is just where I launch and start playing. This is like the base lobby. Tactical station is specifically the 6v6. There's airdrop research, airdrop paint job, mods. Mods are the power, from what I understand. Matrix supplies, Matrix marketplace. Are these the different maps for the 6v6 mode? 3v3 mode, challenge mode, training. Okay, can I just start playing the game? I mean, God, dude, it's just like, the game is so fun to play, but why do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Why do I have 24 different tabs when I just started playing the game? There's so many games that like otherwise are good games and that just like layered with this bullshit. Now next we have got what I would say a good like 70 to 80% of the negative Steam reviews all seem to be complaining about, and that is the monetization of character customization as well as the expensive skins. To put it simply, they are selling very expensive cosmetic skins and a bunch of pilot customization as well. Now, I don't really care about this stuff on a personal level, but I do know that fans of mech games in particular, the customization is a good chunk of what they look forward to and what they enjoy doing. People just aren't happy about the fact that they have paywalled a bunch of this stuff and that it costs so much money. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I think the real issue here isn't just that they're selling cosmetics. Most free-to-play games do. It's actually very expected. That's probably the most benign way you can monetize a free-to-play game compared to the alternatives ways of monetizing a free-to-play game. No, the problem here, I think, is that they're selling them for way more money than a lot of players right now are willing to swallow from a brand new game that they're not really invested in, let alone obsessed with. I mean, clearly, looking at the user review score, it is bad enough to prevent a lot of people from getting into the game in the first place. You really need to have an established fan base before you can milk that fan base, putting the cart before the horse and all of that, right? I think that's their main point of failure here. Get people really into your game, and then if you want to go down the route of crazy expensive skins, that's your opportunity. But you can't launch the game with crazy expensive skins and monetization before people even care about your game. There's a lot of competition out there. People are just going to write it on and move on to playing something else. That's what you have to keep in mind, really. I'm not anti-developers making money. Absolutely not. I will happily give them $60 to play this game stripped of all the bullshit. If you want to also sell a seasonal pass with cosmetics, by all means, I won't engage with it, or I will if I really like your game. That's ultimately my take and thought on it anyways. But then beyond the cosmetic stuff, there's also the pay to win or pay for advantage side that the game has. And this stings the most for me personally, as it impacts the only mode that I really enjoy, that extraction mode. So basically they've got this mod system in extraction mode specifically where you can equip upgrades for your mech. This lets you do things like adjust your boost rate, your efficiency, your targeting speed, your recovery time, your movement speed, etc. So these mods drop in the form of what is basically a loot box. Whenever you kill larger PvE enemies in the extraction mode, you're gonna get a mod box. They will come in different rarities. The higher the rarity, the stronger the potential stats on the item. So you open the box and you're presented with a random mod of that rarity. Or the other option is via this game's auction house, you can actually buy already opened mods directly from other players. So the TLDR here is that if you spend a bit of real money, you can purchase exactly the mods that you want or need for your build, rather than just relying on whatever random mods happen to drop that you get from opening boxes. You buy them from other players though, is how it works, because people get those mod boxes in game and then they sell them on the marketplace and you can buy them from them right here. So they sell the mod boxes, 20 cents each. You can buy weapons directly. These are 60 cents each, these twin rocket launchers. It's like 100 for $1. So like this is $6, whatever this is. Now, keep in mind too, this marketplace, you're selling this to other players. This is all a player-driven marketplace. Players found these mods, opened them, received these, and then are selling them themselves. And they're gonna get that currency. And then they can use that currency to buy some of these cosmetic stuff, I guess. I don't know what else you can buy with Corites. I don't know if it's just cosmetic, because Corite is the real money thing. On top of that, in the auction house, you can purchase for real money from other players, gliders that drastically increase your move speed, repair stations to heal your mech, recon beacons to mark important things on your map, decoy beacons to redirect enemy fire, and extraction beacons that let you extract wherever you want, rather than having to rely on the limited number of extraction points that are on the map directly. You can also buy airdrop items that let you do things like call in weapons, ammunition, and the cargo rocket beacons, which are probably the most contentious item of all. This is something you can pay for that lets you extract items without having to survive and successfully extract yourself in your mech. Basically, go into a game, you get some items. If there's something you really want and you want to make sure you don't lose it, you can call down this rocket, put your stuff in it, and then it ships it off safely. Even if you die, you'll keep those items. It's like a safe pocket essentially, but one that you can pay real money for. But I don't know if this is true. Somebody said you could spend money to extract, like you can pay $50 to guarantee extraction. Which I am dead if that is true. This must be the thing that you can pay to extract money. Cargo rocket beacon. Summons a cargo rocket in Mashmach. That's the name of the map that you do the extraction mode, to send resources back to base early, avoiding losses from failed extractions. So, how do I get a cargo rocket beacon? Monetization doesn't matter in the matchmaking / battlegrounds, just the extraction. Well, that's rather unfortunate for someone like me who is most interested in the extraction mode. So if you're telling me that the pay to win is in the extraction mode, that's a massive bummer for me. Now, I should say, all of this stuff, everything that I just mentioned, can just be acquired by playing. As you play the game, you're going to be relying on the randomness of whatever drops you happen to get, but you can get all of this stuff. And then on top of that, as you continue to play, you can actually earn the premium currency yourself without spending real money by selling anything valuable that you got to other players. Now, those players will have to, somewhere in the chain, someone has to have spent real money to purchase the thing that you're selling to get that money. But yes, that's how they're monetizing it, a player-driven auction house, sort of along the lines of what Throne and Liberty does for monetizing a lot of their power things. So yeah, just by playing the game without spending any real money yourself, you can get all of these things, or you can just get it from drops. It'll just take longer because of the randomness. But of course, as these games always work, you can get exactly everything you want much faster if you just start by swiping immediately and spending real money. Now, honestly, I'll say, after playing a ton of the extraction mode over the past couple of days, I've never felt at a disadvantage like someone had came in and swiped their way to victory in a fight that I had that against them. But from what I've been told, that's largely due to the fact that I'm in the early stage of the game. It doesn't surface until the higher tiers because the extraction mode is broken into 3 different brackets. There is the normal bracket, which is all that I have played, where only anyone under a 2,000 gear score can enter. And then the hard bracket is anyone under 6,000 gear score. And then the best bracket, the extreme bracket, where all of the best highest rarity items drop. That mode has no limit to the gear score. So as you can imagine, the ideal pay-to-win scenario would be you go in, you spend money on the premium currency, you buy all of the best, highest rarity mods to perfect your build, you buy better weapons and whatever else you want, you buy the airdrops, you buy the repair stations, you buy the redirect enemy fire stations, you equip yourself by swiping, kit out your character, go into the extreme mode, and right now you're probably actually just playing against other swipers, but eventually you might be playing against free-to-play players, and you'll have that advantage of the perfect setup that you could get without having to rely on randomness, without having to grind a bunch and sell stuff and hope to get enough currency to buy the exact things that you want. That's basically the scenario that they've set up in establishing how the loot works and how the player auction house works and how that ties into the paid for premium currency. And I will add here that all of this is only for the extraction mode. The other game modes, the 3 vs 3 deathmatch and the 6 vs 6 team-based objective mode, none of the mod things or these call-in airdrops, none of that stuff applies. You just pick a striker, they all have a default kit and stats, you play against other strikers all with default kits and stats. There's no tuning and paying for any sort of power in those modes. And basically what the developer's done is said the extraction mode, where there is pay to accelerate your advantage, that's not the main mode. They don't consider that the main mode. The main mode is the stuff without the pay to win. It's just, I'm sure there are people out there like me who personally, I don't really care about the team-based mode. I don't care about the deathmatch or the objective mode. The extraction mode is the one that I like. And for me, and anyone like me who prefers that, it is a bummer that people can pay to accelerate. And if I ever wanted to play an extreme, I most certainly would be at a disadvantage without swiping or without grinding excessively. That's, again, what the system they set up. And the last con is just the fact that I wish the game actually had more PvE content, because what little is here, which is basically just the first 20-minute tutorial and then the extraction mode with all the enemies and the POIs, all of that is legitimately really fun. Like, they have some really engaging PvE content and enemy variety and bosses and events and all that stuff. If they fleshed it out more, I would honestly play the crap out of it. Like, if this was basically just like a mech version of Warframe with the gameplay system and combat that they have, I would probably be obsessed. Like, no exaggeration, honestly. So I just wish they had more PvE. Simple as that. Okay, so to wrap it all up, the TLDR here is that I think this game is legitimately good and fun from a gameplay perspective. I've really specifically enjoyed this extraction mode, and I like all of the different strikers. They're really cool classes with great designs and varied playstyles that I've enjoyed the little I've seen so far, and I'm looking forward to trying out some more. But at the same time, as for the negatives, the onboarding is non-existent, the menus are overly bloated and convoluted, monetization right now tips into the over-the-top category, where a majority of these early negative reviews that currently have the game sitting at a mixed rating, that's where that comes from. And again, I'll reiterate, for a non-established IP, a brand new game, it's just too much money for many people to care enough. They just prefer to go play something else at this point. I'm also sad that the main mode that I enjoy, extraction, players can swipe to get an advantage quicker than free-to-play players. And then I wish just in general that they had more of a PvE focus. If this game played exactly the same but was just more like Warframe with way more PvE content and grinding for power and all that stuff, I would be thrilled. The 3v3 and 6v6 modes just really didn't click with me at all personally. But even with all those cons mentioned, given it's a free-to-play game, I think it's worth checking out if you have any interest in it, because yes, it's actually really fun to play. Like, hats off to the developers. They made a mech game that's really enjoyable. Unfortunately, at the same time though, I think the devs also have done themselves a disservice by monetizing it the way that they have, because the game that they built, it's legitimately enjoyable. My best case scenario would have been if that it just cost $40 to $60, that it was a premium package and maybe they sold a battle pass or whatever. And I think that if this game fails, a large part of the reason will be because they were too heavy-handed with the monetization right out the gate. You are a brand new free-to-play multiplayer game. Players have plenty of alternatives alternatives to choose from, you have to be appealing enough to pull them away from those existing titles. And there is something appealing here. As I've said, I really enjoy the gameplay, but if you want to sell $50 skins that you shove in people's face after the 20-minute tutorial, you need to earn that player base first. And judging by the current Steam reviews, it looks like they've turned away a lot of players before they even had the chance to get hooked and become a fan of the product enough to not care about a $50 skin. And that's on them, ultimately. It's really a shame because I've had a lot of fun playing this game. I just think that a lot of people are never going to try it because, again, they've been too heavy-handed with monetization. We'll see how everything shakes out, but those are my first impressions of Mecha BREAK. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the vid. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.